This week on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay? For a little walk.
I mean, literally, look at all of us, our age and what we're doing to be confronted like this every day about this stupidity.
Kyle.
Everybody honestly should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously, ridiculous.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to We're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 8. Let's get right into this. Alright, this was a dramatic episode, so let's begin. So the episode begins with, we see all the ladies getting ready. Boz is planning an event for the girls in her house. She's calling it the Sisterhood Serenity Soiree. She was inspired by Sutton's little sisterhood message when they took the trip at the beginning of the season, and even though she feels like Sutton didn't really execute her message at all, she does like the idea, so she's going to carry that idea to this event. So she calls Dorit through FaceTime and she needs to tell her what Garcelle told her the other day. Boz says, Garcelle came over and she told me some stuff that Kyle showed them. And it seems like there might be more to the PK and Kyle texting thing. It sounds like more than just jokes and memes. Dorit says, I literally just talked to Erika and Erika said there was nothing inappropriate. Boz says, well, here's the thing. Kyle was standing on business, saying that she was not going to show the messages because she was a grown woman and all this stuff, but then she showed them the message. Then if she did that, if she went ahead and showed them the messages, then maybe she should show you the message. And Dorit says, yeah, because like, how am I the last one to know? So then we see Kyle FaceTime the one and only Kathy Hilton. Kathy is currently on a trip. Kyle says, oh my gosh, Kathy, I got into the biggest fight with Dorit. And Kathy says, again? And Kyle says, yeah, me and PK have always been like brother and sister, but now all of a sudden, Dorit has a problem with that. I'm not even going to talk to her today. And I said to myself, Kyle, how are you saying all of a sudden? They just got separated, so of course it's all of a sudden. So here's the thing. Boz really went all out. She had food, robes, slippers, massage people. So she really transformed her house into like a spa. I loved it. So on their way there, some of the ladies are discussing what they think they are going to, what they're getting into, because there's been a lot of fights that have happened as a group. There's been fights between Kyle and Dorit, but the Viper Room fight was just extreme. They're also talking about this text message that Kyle showed them. Jen Tilly keeps calling them, I think she called them memes. It's memes. But yeah, they are all really dissecting this text. And it's fair, to say, I'll never tell anyone what you've told me, it raises some eyebrows. When Dorit gets there, it was so awkward between her and Kyle. Boz had said to them to dress comfortably, and Dorit says to Kyle, ooh, is that comfy? Kyle was just sitting there. Boz is one of them people who make you take your shoes off when you get into her house. I'm not like that, but I respect it. I respect the cleanliness, and she obviously had slippers for them anyway. And the robes that she had for them were also personally embroidered with their names. Garcelle and Erika are already flirting with the chef. When they go outside, Garcelle seems to know the men that give them massages. So they're all relaxing, enjoying what the services that Boz has for them. And Garcelle is laying down, her feet are getting massaged. She's enjoying this beautiful paradise, and she just about closed her eyes when all of a sudden, boom, she's interrupted by Dorit. So Dorit essentially apologizes for snapping at her at the Viper Room, because remember, after the fight, Garcelle asked Dorit, how are you? And Dorit snapped. Now, granted, it was literally like a second after Dorit's fight with Kyle, but I'm glad she's clearing the air with Garcelle. And despite their issues, I thought it was amazing the way Garcelle said, listen, I've been there. I've been where you're at, like especially having young kids, so I'll be here if you need anything. And Dorit even apologizes again for all of the bumps in the road that they've had throughout the years. The issues the issues that they've had. And I thought that the fact that she's there taking accountability, I thought that was really good of Dorit. So then Bose goes over to Kyle and she says that she's heard about this infamous text. She says to Kyle, "You told me that you didn't want to read the text," and I thought, okay, but then Garcelle tells me that you read the text to the group. I thought, damn, why couldn't you have read it to me? And Kyle says, "Well, I can tell you what it said. I said I'm a good friend. I'll be here if you need anything. You can just, and I won't tell anyone or repeat what you've told me, and we'll continue to send each other funny memes and jokes." That was it. And Bo says, "Oh, wow, well, what does that mean?" And then that's where Sutton jumps in and says, "Oh, well, you said more than that, Kyle." But now Kyle is getting very aggravated. Bose then says to Kyle, "Listen, can I ask you something? Can you please read the text message?" And Kyle says, "Right now?" And Bose says, "Yeah." Sutton says, "Well, you read it to all of us." And then that's when Erika butts in. "No, let's not do that. There isn't a warrant." I said, "Erika, shut up right now." Like, shut up. So then Kyle gets up. She leaves. Erika goes after her, and typical Kyle Richards move, now she's crying. "Why should I show them the text, Erika?" Meanwhile, Dorit is like, why is every single person talking about this text but me? Like, what the hell? She's right, though. So then Kyle goes outside and she says, "I'm going to say one thing and then I'm leaving." And she's screaming and crying, acting like she ain't never been confronted in her life. And she says to Dorit, "I love you and PK and the kids. I've been made to feel like I did something wrong. I read a message, but now Bose is making it seem like it was something bad." And Dorit says, "Just read it." So Kyle does. And again, it's that little part where it says, "If you need me," this is Kyle saying to PK, "If you need me, I'll never repeat anything you've told me." She then pauses and says that she didn't mean that she wouldn't say anything to Dorit. She meant that she wouldn't say anything to production, the production of the show they're filming. Huh? Even Garcelle in her confessional said, "What the hell does production have to do with this?" Kyle says, "That's all. I'm done. I'm not going to be made out to be something that I'm not. I'm done." And then she literally storms off. So naturally, they all go behind her, and then Kyle says to them that this is all disgusting. She says that all of them should be ashamed of themselves for doing this at this age. Listen, this was so ridiculous. I actually was laughing, not gonna lie. Dorit then she talks to Kyle one on one, and she says, Kyle says, "If it bothered you, I would have stopped texting him a long time ago." Dorit then explains that her biggest problem in her relationship was the way PK would speak to her. He would speak horrendously to her. She even described him as a monster, the way he would talk, the way he would come at her. And then Kyle says, "Oh, well, I've never seen that side of him." And I just thought to myself, okay, just because you haven't seen that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And it was low-key bothering me that Kyle was taking PK's side in the confessional. That was crazy to me. But anyway, Dorit does say, when you say things like, "I'll never repeat anything," that doesn't feel right. And Kyle says, "Well, it wasn't about you. He doesn't even talk to me about your relationship." And Dorit says, "Yeah, he does. He does. He talks to everyone about it." Dorit knows this because she says that even when her and PK were together, he himself would tell her that yes, he would speak to Kyle about their relationship. So Dorit literally in her confessional says that Kyle is a liar, that she lies through her teeth and she can't be real. Dorit then goes back inside. She tells them what just happened. Kyle left. Erika is still defending Kyle. And then Bose says that it's just in her nature to fix things. Sutton then says to Dorit, "We might not be friends right now, but we'll always be here to sit and talk." And Dorit says, "Agreed." This food is yummy, by the way. She's not really too happy with Sutton right now. Okay, so then it is another day, and Kyle is having a family gathering with Mauricio and her daughters. It's her daughter's 16th birthday. Her and Mauricio seemed okay. They even kissed when they greeted each other. Then Mauricio talks about a trip that he's going to take his daughter to, and then they surprise the daughter with a car, a Porsche. And she was really happy. She was even crying, so that was nice. Sutton then goes over to Garcelle's, and Sutton says, "Listen, I did not appreciate Kyle storming off. Why is it okay for her to storm off this group when she's uncomfortable? It's because she thinks that she's above this, and she's not." And even though I am not the biggest fan of Sutton, I do have to admit she's right here because Kyle has told her many times throughout the seasons to anytime they've come at Sutton, Kyle has always pretty much said to stop crying and take it. Well, time to take your own medicine, Kyle. Garcelle even brings up how weird it was as well for Kyle to shame them, talking about y'all are too old for this. Sutton says, Sutton, am not going to bow down to the altar of Kyle Richards. Period. The last scene is Dorit and Erika. They go to a relaxation spa, just the two of them. They actually relax like they were supposed to the day before. And afterwards, Dorit then says, "Listen, yesterday, that was a cop out. What Kyle said was absolutely a cop out. When Kyle said to PK, I will not repeat anything, she's talking about not repeating anything to me. And then Erika says, well, I'm not sure. And Dorit says, oh, absolutely. Erika says, well, it could be innocuous. It's presumed that it's you, but it might not. I need proof. Dorit says, I don't need to prove it. Erika, I said, this ain't a court of law. Okay, your husband is the one with legal issues. Dorit then straight up tells Erika, I think you're smart. But when it comes to Kyle, I don't feel like you call it as you see it. It feels like you always want to protect her. Like, for example, I heard you yesterday telling Kyle you did nothing wrong, but how can you know that? And then that's when Erika says, well, now I feel like I might need to bow out of both of these friendships so both of y'all can resolve it. Dorit then says, let me ask you a final question. If it were to be true, would you be okay with it? And Erika says no. And that was the end of the episode. Listen, it was a good episode. I don't feel bad for Kyle. I actually agree with Sutton and Dorit. It's a cop out. Why are you crying and screaming? Um, like, what is going on? You're finally getting a taste of your own medicine. You were very comfortable doing this to many people, including your sister, Lisa Vanderpump, Camille Grammer, Denise Richards, and even Kathy Hilton. So, listen, you ain't even respect your sisters. Why should anyone respect you? The thing is, Kyle is so frustrated that finally, for once, she can't manipulate people with her BS. And people are finally seeing right through her. So, I don't feel bad. You don't get to just walk away and run. Deal with it. Okay? But you guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.